I'm back twice in 2 days and it's bright. Look at the brightness. I think it's just because I've got a Mudkip outfit on. The excitement. It's not my Mudkip outfit, though it is sort of mine, because Frey has relinquished it to me indefinitely until she decides she's cool enough to wear a Mudkip again. She and her sister made it for Expo like 4 years ago or something, and I just got drunk. Well, every time I was drunk at her house, I just put it on. There are pictures of my legs coming out of a doorway, just laying on the floor in it. Beautiful times with the Mudkip outfit. Anyway, I'm celebrating. I've decided to turn this account, my Wonder Whim, which was originally going to be for, travelling documentation and vlogging for while I'm away in August. Well, August until April. But I've just decided that it can be for that, but it's mainly going to be for nerdy things, because I haven't been doing any vlogs recently, and it's because my life is made up of getting absorbed in books, getting absorbed in games, and getting absorbed in sleeping. Examples. Earlier this week, I finished Uncharted, which is Uncharted 3 for the PS3, in 2 days. I need life. Another example, I finished Noughts and Crosses in 1 day, in 6 hours straight, and then didn't want to read the next one because of the ending. Another example, well, no, actually it's not an example. I didn't really I sort of got absorbed in Final Fantasy X. I finally finished Final Fantasy X this week. Excitement, nerdism. I've been playing Final Fantasy X for literally about 10 years now, and I've never finished it. My first game got written over. My second game I got bored of. My third game finished in calm lands because it didn't turn out well. But I finally finished it, and at the end Riku slaughtered everyone because my Riku was amazing. My Wako was better than her for a good 90% of the game, and then right at the end she had her celestial weapon and he didn't, so he got left behind like a loser. Anyway, so now I'm playing Final Fantasy X-2 because the ending of Final Fantasy X made me cry, and everyone knows that the Final Fantasy X-2 Tidus comes back at the end, and that's the only reason that I'm playing it. Although I am getting used to the dress spheres, as weird as they are. I'm very much a fan of the fact that you can get Payne's dress, special dress sphere really early on. She just slaughters everyone. I was getting stuck in Macalania Woods for a bit as I was just pottering around, and then I was just like, I'll just try this out once, and it was just amazing. And now I'm not dying anymore. My voice is going. You might be able to tell from the fact you probably can't hear half of my words. Anyway, that's not the point. I get very absorbed in things. And yesterday, my Kindle books, if any of you who ever watched this saw the video that I posted yesterday, there was a footnote about my camera breaking on my Kindle. So I went on the Kindle store, and then I managed to get myself 15 new free books to get absorbed in. One of them was called Unenchanted. I finally got that right. I've literally redone this video about 4 times because I kept saying Uncharted, because that's the game I just finished. Unenchanted by a lady that I can't remember the name of. It'll be in the down box. It's there. I might have a little box here. This is the box saying her name right about now. Anyway, so Unenchanted, and it's about... So I'm going to give you very limited amount of information, and then I'm going to say spoilers, and then I'm going to sort of introduce more of the plot, but not really spoilers, because it's all going to be in the first 4 chapters anyway. So, very briefly, there is a girl who is called Minnie. No, well, I can't remember. Ooh, this is terrible. There's a girl, you don't really need to know their names as long as you know who they are. The main girl, and she's cursed with really incredibly bad luck. Seriously bad luck. She's always tripping up and being late. She got locked in a bathroom one time. Randomly locked in a bathroom. Anyway, you find out that it's actually a curse. It's not just, bad luck. And it was a curse that was placed on her family, and it means that she has to complete these tasks. It's really difficult to skip around the main bit. It's very much like the Grimm Tales. And when I say spoilers in a bit, you'll realise why. So it's set in this fantasy world, and she really likes this guy. So it's very much a teen fiction book, But it's a really well written one. It's much better than Twilight, which has sparkly paedophiles in. And, creepy werewolves and stupid girls who pick creepy paedophiles as their boyfriends. Moving swiftly onwards, I did like the Twilight series. It's good for humour, if nothing else. It's like watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge series. You can always laugh at it. I've gone on tangents, I'm sorry. Unenchanted. It's got really good characters in it, I think, and I got really gripped on it. So I read it and its sequel, Fairest, in... So I started last night and finished this morning. It took me about 3 hours last night and 3 hours this morning. No, I don't know. Yeah, that sounds about right. So about 3 hours, or maybe it was 4 hours. Anyway, getting absorbed and tangents everywhere. I've been reading these books and they're fabulous. I'm now going to say basic spoilers. So it's not really giving anything away apart from one thing that happens in chapter 4. So yeah, if you don't want to hear spoilers about this, if you're one of those people who have to read everything, and if you say anything like she dyes her hair, then it just ruins the whole story for you, skip the end of this. This is just a book recommendation for you. Read it because it's fabulous. It's a bit, if you like things that are fantasy, what could I use as a good example? I suppose I haven't really read enough fantasy teen fiction books. I've got one. I read one a while ago that was called, it was by Lauren Oliver. It was called Delirium, I think. I'm fairly sure it was called Delirium. And she's got a couple of sequels to that as well. That one's also. But they're quite almost. Well, they're quite advanced-ish. I don't know if I'm linking these or not. They're quite similar. And I've also got Immortal Beloved. And if you like Twilight, or if you like Beautiful Creatures, or if you like Immortal Beloved, just anything like that, read it because this is fabulous. I'm fairly sure, I haven't actually read The Hunger Games. It's on my list of things to read. I'll get around to it eventually. But I'm fairly sure people who like The Hunger Games would like this too. So now I'm going to just sort of blabber spoilers, very minor spoilers all over you. So it turns out that the main character is actually the great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter or something similar of the actual Grimm brothers. Yay! And the Grimm brothers actually had a curse on them called the Grimm Curse, I think they call it, wherein they had to go through all the different the tales that they'd collected, and live through them and live until the last of their favourites, which is about 200 and something tales, and live through them all. And if they lived at the end, then, because they made a bargain with the fairy queen or something, then the fairy kingdom would be shut from the human kingdom, and they would stop messing with people. And then they said, if we fail, then our ancestors can do it. So it was passed down, and now she has all these horrible grim tasks to go through. That's the book, basically. And if she dies or not. But it's really well written. I have a little sticky note here, because I write myself book reviews so that when I go back and go, was that book any good? I can go, yes, or no, it was shit, don't read it. But I write them to myself. I don't actually put them on anything. It's very brief. Really well written, a gripping storyline that's as realistic as fantasy can be. I mean that in a sort of emotionally charged kind of way. It's all very well thought out. A very good take on the olden time Grimm tales with new exciting twists on the well-known plots. It is new and exciting. It's not predictable from what I found. I'm a bit bad with predicting things, but it didn't seem predictable to me. So it was really good, and it's well worth a read. I really hope I didn't give too many spoilers out there. You learn all that stuff within the first 4 chapters or something anyway. Though the chapters might be a bit wonky in my head because I was reading on my Kindle. But yeah, read, enjoy. Come back to my nerdy site as soon as I've updated it to be more nerdy and less like I'm going travelling. See you later!